there's no inventory still, and things are sitting longer on the market, and you're seeing prices decline and all that kind of stuff. But you talked about focusing on what I can control. And you being a seasoned veteran as a realtor and a seasoned investor, what are those things that you're talking about, those things that you're focusing on today that you can control, that maybe a listener can say, okay, I need to start doing that because that's the things I can control so that I can make some money in this business?
Focus on the positive. It's funny, my team will come in and bitch about something now that, they had a listing that sat for 2 weeks. And I'm like, well, a year ago you were bitching you couldn't get a buyer under contract. So there's good and bad in every market, and you choose what you focus on. So I talk a lot about that. The other thing right now, I'm really encouraging my team and going through my own database. Anyone who doesn't own real estate, this is a great time to buy. In Colorado for the last couple of years, VA borrowers, FHA borrowers, they could not get a contract. And you had to not only bid $100,000 over asking, you had to have $100,000 to cover the appraisal. So unless you were a cash buyer or had a lot of cash on hand, it was almost impossible to buy in Colorado in the last 2 years. So look at the opportunity now. And yes, as cheesy as it sounds, the interest rates are not great, but rent is 100% interest. So if you're, when I bought my first property, my interest rate was 7%.
Come on. That's exactly what I was going to say. When you started 18 years ago, okay, I was going to call you on that. I was like, listen, Redfin, I do a market update every week, right, on my podcast, and I do a real estate market update on Instagram and YouTube every week. And Redfin puts out this report. And I called out my team because they give me the data, and it said 6.39%, the highest interest ever. I'm like, what are you talking about? I can obviously tell how old you are, the writer of this thing. I bought my when I bought my first property in 2000, it was 9.75. I was 20. It was 9.75 on an FHA. And then I bought my first investment. It was 7.75 in 2007. And Amy, I was the broker, for goodness sakes. I was the mortgage broker. I owned the mortgage company. So I got the best darn rate that I could possibly get.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like high rates. What are you talking about?